Kassie Thornton and Christy Spitzer are an adorable lesbian couple living in New York. And everything was hunky-dory one day until they got into a cab and were discriminated against. Now, they get into a cab, and apparently they were showing a little bit of PDA, and that made the cab driver, Mohammed Dahbi, a little uncomfortable to say the least. According to reports, Mohammed Dahbi discriminated against actress Kassie Thornton and her TV executive partner, Christy Spitzer, after ordering them to keep that behavior for the bedroom. When they got out, Dahbi also called the pair bitches, cunts, and whores after they refused to pay the fare and walked away. He claimed during the city's Office of Administration trial or administrative trials and hearings that they were touching each other all over and kissing heavily. Now, they deny that that happened. They said that they gave each other a peck on the lips and that was it. But he says, no, they were being, way too affectionate and I didn't like it. And it doesn't matter that they're lesbians. I would have kicked them out anywhere. I would have told them to knock it off anyway.
Yeah. This is a complicated story because in the beginning it looks easy, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, what are you kicking them out? It made you uncomfortable. You crazy, man? I mean, they're an attractive couple. I mean, if anything, it would have made me uncomfortable with my pants.
Just because you're the worst. Just because it would sexually arouse you doesn't mean that it would sexually arouse everyone. Continue.
Okay, all right. But pay the fare. Are you mental? I'm not going to pay the fare after you kick me out of your cab.
Right.
And the reality is that this exact situation happened to me. Except I was making out with a girl. It wasn't a lesbian situation. It was just normal straight make out, and I'm sure we were fairly aggressive. In New York City, I've done that many, many times and done a lot worse than that, right? And usually we have no issue other than the cab driver pointing his mirror down to see the action, right? Okay, yeah, of course.
Naughty.
Okay, now, but in that one case, which actually was among the lighter episodes, yeah, the guy got all mental, and I don't know where he was from. I don't know, what religious or cultural background he was from, but he was like, no, this is unacceptable. You are immoral people, and you need to get out of my cab.
You didn't happen to rev his engine.
Yeah. Oh, wow, wow. Okay, anyways, so he kicked me out. I didn't go to any trial or hearing. I didn't know that I could do that. But I certainly wasn't going to pay the fare.
Right.
Pay the fare after you kick me out. There's no way I'm going to do that.
So not only did they not pay the fare, which I agree with you, they shouldn't have to pay the fare after they're called cunts and whores. This actually went to court. And it turns out that this cab driver will have to pay a $10,000 settlement to the lesbian couple. He also has to attend anti-discrimination training and pay a $5,000 civil penalty to the city.
Wow.
I mean, okay, so I think that this is fascinating because what he did was wrong. There's no question about it. How do you prove $10,000 in damages in a case like this, right? Like you can't just sue someone and say, I am going to sue you for $1 million. You have to justify that amount, right? So in this case, what were the damages? Other than, your feelings got hurt, and I totally understand that, but $10,000?
Yeah, so I don't know the particular laws of New York and how the anti-discrimination statutes work, and so it's hard to speak to that. But it does seem like a pretty heavy penalty, especially because from where we're sitting, it's hard to determine if he really did it because they were lesbians. Because if he did it because he didn't want anybody making out or having any kind of sexual activity in his cab, I don't blame him either. Do you see what I'm saying? Remove the lesbian part of the story. So the cabbie who kicked me out, I think is a dick, and I don't think he needed to kick me out. I certainly wasn't going to pay his fare, but I thought he had a right to kick me out of his cab. He doesn't like that. He doesn't want it in his car. He gets to kick me out, and I got to go get a new cab.
I agree.
That's where the story should end. Would I have said, whether I got it or not, that guy should be fined $15,000 for kicking me out of his cab? No way. Now here, they had some proceeding where they see more evidence than we do, obviously, in this limited story. So maybe they saw more overwhelming evidence that he did it because they were gay. But that's hard to discern from the facts we have.